You're such an asshole.
All right, this guy's got kind of an interesting background, but because of the topic, I'm trying to get into this better habit, which I haven't done. Get the book I linked down below called The Book of Numbers, Analyzing the ROI of the Pursuit of Women. Today's consultation is brought to you by The Book of Numbers, Analyzing the ROI of the Pursuit. Please get that. You still have hope. I'm okay if there's some hope because there are some good girls out there, but we need to guide your expectations. You got to you're way lofty in the crowd. We need to bring it back down. So, kind of interesting fellow. I'll try and keep him somewhat anonymous. Hi, Kappy. Would like to hear your thoughts on the prospects of relocating to find women that are more conservative than those in New England for the purpose of marriage. I'm going to anonymize. Well, you are a black male. That's all the identity I'm going to give about you. You're in marriage age. You work at a place doing a thing. You work at a high level place doing a high level thing. And we all aspire someday I'd like to work at a place. Just a place? Well, a high level thing. A high level place. I bet you'd like to do a high level thing too. Yeah. What'd you major in? High level things? Oh, maybe you could work at that high level place. And you have a background which puts you in the top 1% of physical shape. You're in outstanding shape. And you make good money. I've been considering moving closer to family at a different part of the country. We'll be able to keep current job and would like to settle down in the next 5 years. I have no problem finding women, but many of the women in New England are too liberal for my liking. Curious to hear your thoughts. And I say, oh, it's a tall order. And I ask, are you strictly seeking black girls? Are you okay dating outside your race? Not that it's going to give you a huge advantage. Also, what about your career? Can you continue working for the esteemed place if you move, or would you have to give that up? I know you said that. Oh, and also any interest in traveling overseas to places like Brazil, Colombia, Dominican Republic, etc. He's a brother. I know the brothers like Dominican Republic. That's actually where Mary Jo's from. So it's like, whoa, they're not too bad. Not too shabby down there. Dating all types. More white than black given the local demographics, so not limited in that regard. I'd be interested in staying in the U.S. Job is okay working remote. Never considered overseas, but interested in hearing pros and cons. All right. So here's the thing, and I know I'm obviously promoting my own book, but please go get that book because given your background, you will appreciate the numbers in there. It'll put things in context. And yes, moving out of New England to where your family is from will result in more traditional women. Also moving in that area, if you had a penchant for the black girls, that there's more black women down in that area as well. But I'm not going to lie, man. It's not good. Your chances of finding a marriageable quality woman is not good. Now you got every asset and investment you made in yourself to make you a very high quality man. Very sought after. I'm not saying you can't find them. And even in that book, I do say leave a line in the water, but for your own sake, you need to reel in your expectations with reality. Because yes, okay, shock, white women in New England are leftists. Yes, I can't imagine Connecticut. I just couldn't. But the sisters aren't exactly known for their conservative values either there. Young women in general, which is the age you're going to be looking at, they tend to be leftist no matter where they are. And whereas I'm somewhat sympathetic towards women where that's just what they are, younger people are leftist because that's what they've been told to be. And I understand that long-term investment, you want to find a more traditional girl, not even necessarily politically conservative, but certainly conservative in the regard like, yes, you're going to support your husband. There's not going to be nagging. There's not going to be arguing. So as long as she's not voting to actively increase your tax rates, she maybe even abstains from voting, you kind of like that girl. But not only are you facing a demographic problem in terms of young women in general will be voting left, young women in general, especially your age and demographic, like your generation range you're looking at, dude, all these girls got is their politics. That's it. They got their politics and not much, and their career. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't forget their career. The career which is heavily imbued in politics. So what I'm saying is lower your expectations and don't get too excited or hopeful about it. I'm not saying give up the pursuit of getting married. If you want to get married, go ahead and do that. But the first thing in solving any problem is correctly diagnosing it. And so I'm just saying, don't like, oh yeah, just cross county lines, state lines. There, hey, look, a bunch of marriageable women. That ain't going to happen. Now, more practically, so I asked about going overseas and maybe find a traditional girl. And not just because go overseas, get yourself a mail order bride. That's not it. But I think I'm going to assume your past or most of your young, early professional career from college to where you are now, has you been hustling and busting your ass off and working really hard. You've certainly dated probably because of your physique. But I think what you need to do is explore a little bit more, certainly date other girls in this other part of the country, but also explore your living options, working remotely, right? Which has nothing really to do with women. But if you're like, have you been to the Dominican Republic? I haven't. I heard it's great. I've been to Jamaica. It's kind of same tropics and all that. I like Jamaica. But have you been to Colombia? Have you been to other places where there are more traditional women? What I would do is I would not be moving. I certainly move. Absolutely. Get the hell out of New England for tax reasons, for weather reasons, for traffic reasons, for your mental health. That alone has nothing to do with women or all that. So go in HQ down by your folks. But I would also start looking and doing some reconnaissance. Go travel overseas. In this new area you're at, why don't you go check out some of the other areas that have no state income taxes? Wink, wink. Are not as cold. Wink, wink. You know the ones I'm talking, where there's a lot of fun things going on. And you could easily fly to some of these places I mentioned overseas. Not saying where he's going, but get used to working remote, explore that part of the country, several states over, get a feel for that country. Yeah, you meet the love of your life at the gas station, and wow, that's great. Then you don't have to worry about it. But as part of your strategy to pursue women and find yourself a quality marriageable gal, part of that, which will only help your finances as well and your living situation, why don't you go and do some reconnaissance, explore, and see? I'm not saying you become a digital nomad like Seth Himes or Andrew Henderson, but Troy Francis did a little bit. Well, check out Colombia. Why the hell not? Wait for winter. You don't want to be here in winter. Go to the Dominican Republic. Go to I don't know. Don't go to Haiti. don't cross the line. Check some of these places out, not just for the girls, but like maybe you like, they got internet. It's nice. If you like housing's cheap, you can work from remote. Then after you kind of figure out a little bit more than who you are, what you want to do, where you want to go, you might develop a long-term plan. Like, man, I really want to buy property in Mendelin. Who knows? You find the love of your life down there and you want to have 16 children. All right. So that kind of takes you down that road. But just getting used to I'm just thinking tropics, beaches, margaritas, establishing not just your career, but your lifestyle, which will then help you figure out the girl you want to put into that lifestyle and also open up some more options with the girls in that lifestyle. And you're not wasting your time. You're not going back to your home state, going to the same old clubs, running the same old girls. And, look out, it's a single mom again. Expand your horizons, invest some time and money in exploring and doing some reconnaissance in those areas. And I think that'll not, at minimum, it'll improve your life and it will drastically increase your chances to find a traditional girl. I'm not advocating going and just getting a mail order bride. That's a huge consequence and downfall or downside to going overseas. A lot of these girls just want the money, so you have to be aware of that. But if you find a traditional girl and you're in whatever, Bogota, and you realize, you like Bogota, look, llamas. I thought they were just in Peru. And you just want to chill out there, you find a nice little village, and you find a traditional girl who wants to stay in that village, find love. Well, your chances are higher outside the United States than in. So, yeah, I would move for reasons that have nothing to do with women and has everything to do with New England sucking. I would not have any expectations of American women, no matter where you live in this country. I would go overseas and explore a little bit. Also, entertain the idea of dating women from foreign cultures who are a little bit more traditional, maybe want to get married and have kids. I don't know if you want to have kids. But at the same time, if you got a good old homegirl and she's, sweet and kind, and she's from America, that's all right. There are good women in America, just don't have any expectations. And so instead of wasting your time and investments, on Tinder or whatever, travel, reconnoiter, explore, work remotely. And in that process, in that journey, I think you drastically increase your chances of finding women. But really go read through that book, man. And oh, wow, it is that bad. And especially for someone who works at a high-end place doing a high-end thing, you're just not, they're not there, man. There just isn't that high quality. And you want them to not be leftists on top of it. Good luck. Good luck with that. So there you go. Let's go through the super chats if there are any. That's it. No more super chats. All right. See you guys later. Toodles.